Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, Jill Biden's in the news. She gave a speech in Arizona reminding women that Joe Biden and his administration support women and women's rights and such, and pointed out how the GOP have been taking women's rights away. Referencing how Donald Trump has been bragging about appointing the Supreme Court justices that overturn Roe v. Wade. He is considering, if he is reelected, to put in a 15-week abortion ban. And he ridicules women for their looks, their figures, grab them by their private parts, etc., etc., etc. The Republicans put out statements basically saying that women have suffered under Biden because Biden's economy is terrible for women and children, and that they are the party that support women's rights. The gaslighting. Now, for those who don't know, on my channel they do have demographics. I can look up analytics and look up demographics. And looking at demographics, 75 to 80% of my viewers are women. The majority of those viewers are 65 years and older. That's just the way my demographics break down here. I would say that the majority of my subscribed audience are mature women who've been around the block a few times, have seen a few things, experienced a few things, and probably have an opinion as to the validity of Jill Biden's versus the RNC's statements on who is supporting women's rights. And I'm sure my comments will be filled with strong opinions on that matter. It's mind-blowing. You know, just what you wanted. A bunch of old white men and the RNC mansplaining to you who supports your rights. I mean... Talk about folks who just don't get it, man. Oh, dear God. If they only knew what the trouble they were going and getting themselves into. All right. Let's look at the energy around Jill Biden's speech in Arizona. The speech was interrupted by protesters a few times over the Biden policy towards Israel and Palestine. But honestly, Biden's a little bit tied up right now with stuff that he can and cannot do. But let's look at Jill Biden and her speech here. We have the Five of Swords. Really, you know, so many ways to look at this, but here are the first two. This election is crucial. It is not lost on Jill Biden that if Joe Biden is not reelected President of the United States, and Donald Trump is the person who is elected President of the United States, pretty much this campaign's for all the marbles. This is it. If we don't show up in 2024 and vote and put the Democrats in charge of the presidency and Congress, we are in trouble. And if Trump gets into the presidency, we've lost our democracy, especially if he controls one or both houses. What's going to cross that? Six of Cups and the Justice card. And the Six of Cups is kind of reversed here. It's a naivety. There's a naivety out there about how serious this election is. And it's also a naivety on the Republicans' take on women's rights. Now, if you're a GOP Trump supporter and you're watching this video and you're just like ready to grind me into paste, understand that I would have a hard time listening to a woman tell me how Joe Biden doesn't support women's rights, because I don't know how you would justify the loss of your reproductive rights and right to make your medical decisions on things like that, that were taken away by a conservative Supreme Court, put in there by conservatives who have bragged about how wonderful it is that you don't get to have rights. I mean, you could probably try and parrot the Joe Biden's bad on the economy line, but at the end of the day, the party that's taking away your rights is the Republican Party. And if you're supporting the Republican Party and you're a woman, you're being pretty naive. Or you're like really into this evangelical, I'm subservient to my husband and men in general, and they should tell me what to do type of thing. And if that's your jam, God bless you, but you're not the majority here. Underneath is the Justice card. This, again, as I say, it's for all the marbles. It's for all the marbles. But it's also, do not mistake which party stacked the justice system to take women's rights away when it comes to having children. And that's just the first step. They will not, the Republicans and the evangelicals will not stop here. This is the opening shot of what's to come. If you're not careful, you already have a stacked Supreme Court. You've got the House barely in control of the blues, but you got it, and they've told you what they're planning on doing next. It's not going to stop there. In the past, you've got the happy family, the Ten of Cups. Everything's fine. It's all about families and family rights, family planning, stuff like that. Honestly, they had that really sarcastic line the Democrats put out there that, women's rights, it shouldn't be between her, it should be about her and her doctor and likely the biological father of the family. That's who should be involved in the decision. But the Republicans would have it be the woman, her doctor, and her local congressman. What the hell, man? Republicans saw themselves as the party of family values, yet they don't want women to have the right to actually control how big a family they have. And, heaven forbid it be rape, incest, or any type of medical condition that be the problem. You're going to have that kid whether you like it or not. Because, they'll tell you. When they want your opinion, they'll tell it to you. Oh, God. Current situation, Knight of Swords. It's all hands on deck, ladies. It is all hands on deck. We are at the cusp of the age of Aquarius, and it's time to get on your horses and ride. And get this thing through, because it's a 5-alarm dumpster fire when you have old white men in charge. The issue is really clear. It's very black and white, despite how the Republicans are trying to muddy the waters. For most women, I think they see past the Republican messaging with the Sun card here. They see past it. They know who's on their side. They know who there's not. Now, I know it's going to still stun you that probably 20%, 25% of the women, I don't know what the percentage is going to be, are going to vote for Republicans. If you were to take Donald Trump out of the equation and it was just a Republican policy and they had done this, it'd probably be like 90, 95% of the women would be on the same side. But you got this cult of personality that is just absolutely bamboozling a third of the population out there. But even women who would normally vote with Republicans, I think they understand what this election is all about. And they understand what's happening next. They may not want to face it, but it's staring them right in the face. You're going to have to move and act quickly. We have to move and act quickly. We have to get the word out about what's going on. We've only got, 8 months before the election? Yeah, they're about 8 months. You got 8 months to get the word out. Start working on your girlfriends, making sure y'all registered to vote, and y'all know how you're voting if you want your rights restored and codified. And you better, and I'll tell you what, if the Democrats don't codify women's rights, they deserve to lose every election thereafter, because right up there with codifying the voter rights is restoring women's rights. Period. Those are like the top two things to do. And I've already said, from my point of view, you've got to reinstate voters' rights first, simply because if you don't level the playing field, then you set yourself open for another coup attempt by the GOP. But that doesn't mean you can't work at both of them at the same time. And you should be able to work on both of them at the same time. There's no reason why you can't do two things at once because they're both extremely important. So get out there and get the message out. Jill Biden's basically, by getting her message out and broadcasting it, she is taking a leadership role in making sure women are understanding what the problem is, understanding who the problem's coming from, and understanding what they need to do. Get out and vote. Vote like your rights, your life, your family, and your country depend on it, because they pretty much do. Okay. Anything else I want to throw on this? There's really nothing else to throw on this. I mean, it is what it is, ladies. I'm more worried about these nutcase men out there who, you know, it seems like a lot of the folks that go to the Planned Parenthood protests, again, are old white men. You know, or folks that are well past their breeding years. I guess they want grandchildren really bad and they don't want their daughters or sons or anybody along those lines to ever not give them a bevy of grandchildren. Maybe I'm being cynical with that, but it just seems that way from the videos I ever see on it. No, that's it. That's it. Get out and vote. Get your lady friends out to vote. What happened with the Roe v. Wade overturning it's criminal. Honest to God, is criminal. Taking away people's rights in this country. What the hell, man? That's not what this country is about. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words and your likes and your thumbs up. Everything you do to feed the algorithm so it gets out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.